What's up, everyone? This is Chris Talks Crypto. Making a video today on Cipher Mining, CIFR. They are a Bitcoin mining company dedicated to expanding and strengthening Bitcoin's critical infrastructure in the United States. So American-based, making sure that we have all of the infrastructure needed to make sure that Bitcoin is doing what it needs to do. About them, they are an industrial scale Bitcoin mining company dedicated to expanding and strengthening the Bitcoin's network and critical infrastructure in the US. Our mission is to provide the vital foundation required for the Bitcoin network to flourish. So there's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be set up so that crypto can thrive. We're still in the very early stages. Think early internet, where everything isn't fully there yet, but these are the people who are actually building it out. We're believers in the future of the Bitcoin network and its potential to improve existing financial systems and ultimately quality of life. We embrace a future where digitally native open source networks for value transmission and storage flourishes, and we believe that securing that network is vitally important. So miners are huge for validating the transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain, and having quality mining is key to that. I talked about it in some of the other videos, but the more mining power you have, the more secure the actual site is. The network, the blockchain, the more secure it is. So our best-in-class management team leverages extensive expertise from technology, fintech, energy, and finance domains, as well as deep experience related to cryptocurrency and blockchain. So let's see who they got. Tyler Page is their CEO. Ed Farrell, your financial officer. I don't really know these people, but head of power. Interesting. Yeah, they got a big list here. All these different people. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through all of these, but they seem like, I looked at their board of directors earlier. Like, they seem like they have a pretty good management and leadership team. So they're on it. There's actually more people than I see on most people's websites. So James Newsom, Caitlin Long, I think she's from Exxon previously. So the oil and gas industry and mining are very closely tied. Because that is the energy sector that Bitcoin lives in, for sure. Site overview. So these are some of the places that they have. They're currently deploying Bitcoin data centers. They have one in Odessa, which is out in West Texas. That's oil and gas country. And then the other one is Alborz. I don't know where that's at, actually. I'm assuming it might be in Texas, but we'll have to see. I'm not going to look that up right now, but yeah, basically they're a mining company. Their goal is to build the infrastructure of Bitcoin and the blockchain overall. So that's good. They're gonna do pretty well, I would think, in the coming year. So looking at their stock, they closed at $3.03 on February 23rd. So yesterday, Friday. Let me see. Yeah, so $3.33. Market cap, not even $1 billion yet. $771 million on their market cap. So not even $1 billion. So that's pretty. I want to say low, but I mean $771 million is a lot for sure. But I only know it can go higher over the coming years. So net income negative $39 million. Again, I've talked about this with some of the other mining companies. I'm not super worried about their income right now. If they're still alive in 2024 and they can hold on for another year, they're going to win. They're going to win for sure. And especially now that we have these ETFs around, it is of paramount importance, especially to the holders of the ETFs, that these Bitcoin mining stocks continue to perform. Revenue, $304 million, 69 million shares floating. Your earnings per share, betas, they're headquartered in New York, founded in 2021. Very interesting release for that too, because 2021 was the first half. It was a mixed year because like the overwhelming majority of 2021 was great for crypto. I think halfway through you had a dip somewhere around June because like China kicked all their miners out, which relates to this, and a lot of them came to the US. And then it ran up again all the way into November when it peaked out, I think around 69,000. And it just continued to drop and drop and drop, and you started the bear market. So this stock probably didn't have the biggest fighting chance when it came out. 2020, they weren't even around at that point. 2021, net income was down significantly. 2022 as well. I don't know if it doesn't look like they've reported for 2023 just yet, but again, I'm not worried for these negative numbers just so as long as they are still around in 2024. And I think they're going to have a lot of money backing them. They're going to have a lot of money backing them for sure, just because this is something that we cannot allow to fail. The mining industry in America, that's something that we need. So it looks like they got a decent amount of cash in 2021. I don't know whether I guess that's coming from outside, but your free cash flow is negative 60 million there, negative 36 in 2022. Again, I'm not super concerned about the financials on this one, just because I understand the market that it's in. It rightfully so. Most people could look at that stock and be like, that's trash. It's not going anywhere. But again, you have to understand the environment that it's in. So, closely held shares. So that is a bit interesting. This is looking like insider shares is 72% of it, and free float is 27 million. So if you have a lot of insiders selling at any point, like they could potentially move that price pretty significantly, because again, you only have about 27% that's just free floating out on the market, whether it be the exchanges or whatever. So they're pretty insider heavy, is what it looks like. So that's something to semi be concerned about, but not super in the long run. I think it'll do well. I don't see them really selling out for this one. It just doesn't make a ton of sense right now, at least. So keeping that money tight to the chest. What type of news do they have? Operational update maintained at $5 by Needham. Fourth quarter maintained at overweight. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Okay, so looking at the chart, I'm taking a look here. This is the monthly chart on Cipher. Again, they launched in 2021. IPO'd somewhere in like 2020, December 20 or whatever it is. So basically 2021. And you had this big run up into late 2021, the fall, and then the huge drop off that we know exactly what happened. That was the end of the bear market. I'm sorry, end of the bull market and into the bear market. So they just, kind of bounced around here and didn't really do much of anything. So if you got in here, you're probably pretty pissed about this. But knowing the Bitcoin market, I mean, it went all the way down to a couple cents, like 70 something cents. And now if you're in it, you're up like 500%, if not more. I mean, right now it's at $3, but it's going to go back up again. So that's the monthly chart, weekly charts. There's not a ton of technical analysis to do, because this is all rangy nonsense. This is all prediction of me, kind of understanding that, hey, we're at the beginning stages of a bull market. I believe that this is going to go up, and we've seen that all through 2023. We did probably about 500 something percent. 300 to 500% in 2023 just on this stock. So I wouldn't really worry too much about the price action over here. It will give some bearing in a second, but we'll take a look. I'll go back to the monthly chart. There's not a lot to look at down there. A couple stopping points. You'll probably stop here, reverse for a little bit, then continue on. Stop here for a little bit, reverse, continue on. And this won't be a big reversal at all. It'll probably just do a little dip and keep going. So at that point, if we get from $3 to, the top here, which is $15, that's a 5X. If we keep going to a 10X, that's $30. If we get to $60, that's a 20X. And if we get to 120, that is a 40X. Again, that's a long shot. But again, we're under $1 billion in market cap right now. So if somehow they are able to absorb, $40 billion, or what's 3/4, $30 to $40 billion, there's your 40X right there. $30 to $40 billion. Again, the Bitcoin market in and of itself will probably absorb a couple trillion. So that's going to all trickle through the miners first. So it's not out of the question that they could get up to that 120 level, but we'll see. I think more realistic targets are your 30 and your 60, somewhere between here. That's somewhere in this area. But again, this is super optimistic to say that we could get up there. But something that we could hold on for the long run. Just to see. Again, it's always good to have the Bitcoin mining stocks in your pocket, because the miners are not going anywhere. Like the Bitcoin algorithm runs all the way out until I think like 2140, something like that. Looking at the hash rate for Bitcoin, it is going up as we expect it to. Just going to continue on with this exponential curve. That's going to continue unless something drastic happens. But the more hash rate you have, the more secure the network is. Hash ribbon indicators right now, as long as this blue line is above the purple line, Did I say that right? Yeah, as long as the blue line is above the purple line, so you have your 30 and 60-day moving averages. Then hash rate is in an uptrend. We're good. These red areas that you see on the chart, that's when the curve was below, the blue curve was below. And at that point, your hash rate is falling. But as you can see, we haven't had falling hash rate since August of 2023. So it will continue on to the upside. I'm sure of it at this point. So that's pretty good. What else can we look at? Let's look at miner revenue. It was a lot more volatile in the early days, the revenue, just because, again, they were, at that point, Bitcoin wasn't stable. And as you can see, super volatile. A little still volatile, but not as much. Even less volatile. Absolutely not volatile at all. Bitcoin is something that gets much more predictable over time. It gets more predictable over time with at a certain point, we're only producing, right now I think we're producing as a whole, out of the entire blockchain, we're producing 900 to 1,000 Bitcoin a day. Yeah, it looks like if you look at here, like this tiny, like 966 total Bitcoin for the 17th or whatever. So somewhere between 900 and like 1,100 Bitcoin a day that we are producing from the blockchain. And that, once we get to this dotted line right here, is going to drop in half, which is what the halving is. You see it happen every time. Boom, drop, boom, drop, boom, drop again. That's just how this game goes. So soon it'll be 450 Bitcoin produced a day out of all of the mining activity that goes on across the world, not just in America. Across the world, 450 Bitcoin will be produced a day. You have these Bitcoin ETFs that are now just absolutely taking the Bitcoin off the market. And I think that's going to continue as time goes by and as we ride into the bull market. So the ETF was not promised this time last year. It's been a battle that they've been fighting for about a decade, and it finally happened. The halving was absolutely promised. That was written. It was already encoded into the DNA of Bitcoin that somewhere around the, like the 800th block or whatever, you are going to have a halving, and that is going to cut the daily issuance in half, which only serves the miners even more. It drives the price up. So looking at the options, CIFR, Cipher Mining, $3 and $3 roughly for the stock price. If we want to buy options, again, not financial advice, but I'm looking late 2025, early 2026. I want to see what those contracts are looking at. The farther you go out, the more expensive it is. But at this point, the contract is only about $140, $143. So you take this number right here and you multiply it by 100, because you have to buy at least 100 options per contract. So you could buy that many. If you want to buy 10, it's going to be $1,000 contract and so on and so forth. But right now, we'll just stick with one. And then we set our price range really that we were going from. We're at, $3 right now. And your mythical level is up here at like $120. $120. So we'll go to 0 to 132. That's fine. And if we look down here, take a look, we will see what we got. So again, this is only a $143 contract right now. And we'll look at the different levels. I'm not just going to shoot up directly to 120, but here's where we are. We bought that $3 contract. Now we break even somewhere around $8. And we just continue on to the upside. I said the next level would be 50. We'll look at 15, 30, and 60. So if we get to $15, you're $450 in profit. That's pretty good. $30, you are roughly about $2,200 there. Or what's that? Is it 30? Yeah, this is 30 right here. So yeah, about $2,200 in profit at $30. If we get to $60, which at this point would be a 20x, $20 billion, roughly about $15 to $20 billion would have to flow into it. But at $60, that's $4,000. Again, off of a $150 bet right now as of the time of recording of this video. That's pretty good odds. That's a 33x on your money, 34x on your money. Again, not financial advice, but I think this is a pretty good play. And then if we get to that mythical 120 level, you're looking at $10,000 off of a $100 play. That's 75x roughly. You could light those up all day right now, and then just play that out as it will. But I think these Bitcoin mining companies are pretty solid. Most of them that I've seen, like, they have good underlying, they got good bones, and they have good fundamentals behind it. Like they got a good team and all that. So we'll see. Time will tell. You never know how this is going to go, but you have good predictions. So again, this has been Chris Talks Crypto. Check out any crypto-based resources on christalkscrypto.com, and I will see y'all on the moon. Take care. Have a good weekend.